Hi, this is LARP Beard, and I'm gonna talk a bit about LARP fever or messy room syndrome. As you can see around me, I have a bit of a messy room. You can see I've got some gear, got some laundry, have some arrow shafts, and poles, and spears, and leather, and foam. This is a helmet. I've got a shield down there someplace. And of course, my group's banner here behind me. And this is all because that 1 week's time, I'm gonna be already at a LARP site getting my camp ready for Castle Forge. This is the next big Israeli group-based LARPs. See, in this upcoming LARP, it's called Castle Forge. It's the first of its series. I will be a captain of one of the groups. And like a lot of big Israeli LARPs, it's a group-based LARP. What that mean is that each player has to sign up to one of the different groups led by different captains. These captains are usually just another player, but a more experienced and organized player. And he is in charge of making sure all the different LARPers have all their gear together, have all their stories together, have everything they need for the game, and act as an in-game power structure. I mean, usually the captain will be the king of the elves, or the number one hunter, the forest folk. That's us. This is our banner. And so it's a dual purpose position. I have a few issues with that, and I think that that can be improved on, but that's how most of the big games in Israel work for the past 10, 15 years. And it's easier on the organizers to just build a hierarchy of characters instead of needing to take care of 15 or 50 or 200 different characters. You just have 4 or 5 or 10 captains, and each one of those has 10, 20, 30 players that he's in charge of. And so in this upcoming LARP, we have the elves, the forest folk, mountain folk, chaos, white crows, which are a sort of bandit freedom fighters, and we have the caravan. And caravan is a special group because these guys aren't in competition and aren't in direct conflict with the other groups. The other groups are each trying to take hold of the castle for their own means. And what we do in this game is, since each group is in charge of everything they do and everything they need, they have to build their camp, they have to build their gates, they have to take care of clothes, build weapons, build siege weapons, um, make armor. Everything is on the group's charge. So what I do is, every time I see something that I can use, I grab it. So for instance, I got this nice thick leather from a couch. I'm gonna make these into chaps. I already made a leather jacket. Or you can find some steel, start making helmets. And you can find some foam to make weapons. And it goes on, and this is what you end up with. Just lots of stuff. Another aspect of getting ready for a big game is trying to get in character. And I like to really know what I'm doing. I don't like to pretend. So when I'm gonna play this forceful person, Teka, that's his name, I really get into it. So I took a little hike earlier today to an area where there was a forest fire. And even though you're not allowed to cut down trees in Israel without a special permit, there was a bunch of dead trees over there. So I could go around and cut them up and tow them around and start working on my TP. And you really get physical and you really get dirty and brushed up. And maybe you see some of the coal markings, and that's something I would do like once every couple of weeks in order to get ready for the LARP. Go and take a hike and maybe build a shelter and so on, depending on the role, of course. So if I'll be playing an alchemist, I'll try to mess around with alchemy, and actually I did a bit. For instance, there's a special kind of copper salt or copper oxide you can achieve to make glue resilient for bacteria, and for that you need to saturate, or actually hang a piece of copper in a small bottle with the copper not touching the wine inside the bottle, and close it up. Wait for a couple of days until you have a nice blue patina forming on the copper. You take that, you scratch it up, and you put that in the glue, and that's how you protect it from bacteria. And that's the kind of alchemical knowledge that it's easy, if you know stuff like that, it's easy to play it in the game. And so if you want to be a blacksmith in a game, you really have to work on it. So in this game, I have a player who's bringing a small forge, and we're building it in a little bellow, and he's gonna heat up iron and strike it. Or for instance, if I want to have some armoring done, I'd actually bring this half-done helmet and really work on it, or on the other pieces that are missing here. So I really like in order to look like I'm doing something, I really do it. There's no playing, no pretending. You really do it, and I find it much more immersive and fun, both for me and for people who watch me to really see me doing something. You don't have to suspend anything because it's really there, and that's not very common, but it's getting more and more common, and I'm happy about that. So I'll see you soon.